Dropshipping time and time again has proven to be the most simplest and most lucrative business model if done the right way. At the end of the day, it does come down to having your processes in place to produce results like this on a consistent basis. In today's video, I'll be covering how I made $5,000 in profit in just 33 days on one of my stores. I'll be showing you everything from how I found the product, designed the page, and also my Facebook ads. What's up everyone, it's your boy Young Cow here. Before we hop into it, you guys know we do a free consulting call every single week. If you want to get the chance to enter, do these 3 things. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your word profit with your biggest takeaway. I'll be announcing the winner of the consultation call somewhere in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. First, let me say that producing results like this does require a lot of practice and persistence as well, because it doesn't come overnight. You have to really want this in order to put yourself in a successful position with the e-commerce industry. And I say this because it may look easy with how I was able to do this in this video, but there were countless hours that had to be put in for this. Let's go ahead and hop into my favorite profit tracking app called BeProfit to see the analytics. As you guys can see, the gross profit was $5,003.80. This time span was from December 20th to January 23rd. Looking at the overview right here, you guys can see the total sales was $60,307.74. Cost of goods was about $19,418.50. Ad spend on this was roughly around $33,000. I did have a few refunds and a few transaction fees, which resulted in just around an 8% profit margin on this. Now that we took a dive into the profits, let's go ahead and hop into the product research and validation side of things. It took me a while to find this product since I had to try a bunch of different methods, which I will be showing today. First, I tried my good old reliable ad spy. For my particular searches, I was searching for items that trended around this time last year. As the springtime is coming about, that was definitely one of my areas of focus. I wanted to find a product that was A, scalable, B, had a mass audience, and C, had a 2.5x margin minimum. Alongside with that, I wanted to find a product that did not have any potential reason to get restricted from Facebook at all. So what we'll do is we'll go to Creative Between, we'll go to 2021, and we'll go all the way to November, and we'll just do all of November all the way through the December. Technologies, we'll do Shopify, ClickFunnels, and WooCommerce. From here, I changed this date recent on top to shares. Buttons, I left at shop now. And then for countries, I normally put US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand all at the same time, but sometimes I play around and just do one country only, so I'll do United States only. And here you guys have it. This was one of the searches that I started off with, looking for things that started to trend around last year, heading into the springtime, looking for things that had a lot of shares, engagements. Unfortunately, I was not able to find a product even after doing multiple other searches on AdSpy. So my second resource was a Chrome extension called My Ad Finder. I let this run on auto scroll in the background as I was also doing some other searches on AdSpy in the same time. This is how I actually found the product after seeing some eye-catching ads. After I made sure that it met my validation criteria of having a mass audience, it being scalable, having no potential issues with Facebook, and of course the margins on top of that, I wanted to find out the buzz behind it. So what I did was I went to Google, okay, and let's say it was a dog related product. So what I'll do is I'll type in dog, and on the right side, this keywords everywhere will give me the volume buzz for that particular keyword to see how much trend it has, based off of these time frames. So as you can see, we'll go through the 30-day time frame. Let's say we were selling a dog bed, okay? If I look up the word dog, you guys can see just within the last 30 days, it's been something very consistent and has a lot of volume. You can do the same thing with like the 12-month time span as well. And you can even take a look at the 5 years just to see if there's any types of trends in certain times of the year. But overall, you can see it's something that has a lot of volume, and that is something that I definitely look for in my products as well. Next, let's get into how I built this product page. I typically gather my best performing competitors and take inspiration to what features and benefits that they are using to appeal to the audience. But for that specific product that I was scaling at the time, I honestly just went into Amazon, typed in the product, and I opened up multiple high star listings and gathered the most common features that they were all portraying and simply added my own sauce to it. So for example, if we did dog bed again, type in dog bed, what you'll do is you'll just open up the most high star rating reviews that you have. So here, and let's go with this one. And as you guys can see, as you go down here, they all have their own features and benefits listed out here for you. And what you will really want to do is you just want to kind of cross-reference all of your competitors. What specific features and benefits are they all portraying? There might be a reason why they are all portraying that particular feature and benefit as well. In doing this, I really try to see which competitors have different golden nuggets that I can take away from them to make better overall. After I gather a minimum of 4 to 6 features and benefits, I use this template when creating the actual description of your product page. Let me go ahead and whip up an example product page for y'all to see.
Oh, I love it.
Alrighty y'all, so I just finished creating this example product page just so you guys can see what the format should look like, as there is a science behind building product pages that are fully optimized to convert your traffic into profitable sales. Structuring the product page like this allows you to fully optimize your product page to convey your product in a way that does resonate with the user. The bolded headline and GIF correlate with each other in a way that you don't have to read the short description in order to understand the benefit that the store is trying to convey. Simpler definitely does a lot more. As you guys can see here, you don't want your audience or your customers to read the short description to actually understand what it is that the benefit is, but that bolded feature slash headline should definitely mesh really well with the image slash GIF at hand, because that definitely speaks a lot more volume than the short description that you would place there. Just always remember that simpler does more. For the images, I hired a graphic designer that I use to help get custom images made for me. And of course, you are going to need apps like Volume Discount Quantity Break, Sticky Add to Cart, Frequently Bought Together, and Looks Reviews. This is going to help increase your overall conversion rate and average order value. You'll need to find complementary upsell items to go along with the main product as well. So for another example guys, let's say I was selling a fishing product. What I would do is I would go in ads by, type in fishing gear, add that to filter, add my technologies in there, click funnels as well, WooCommerce. I would filter it by likes, and then I would just filter the scene between the whole entire month. And from here, if I'm selling a fishing product, I want to sell a similar related product within that same category or niche. So from here, I'm just scrolling down, seeing what other fishing products are selling well in the market as well. Now for the advertising side of things, what I did was I took the best performing creative that was getting the most recent amount of likes and comments, and had a video editor simply rearrange some scenes that I personally felt would have looked a little bit better to retain the user's attention. You can find people that can do this on Fiverr for super cheap. You just need to know what you want your video to look like and what particular scenes you want to show off first. When setting up my ads, I implemented UTMs to help with more accurate tracking. This way, I could identify which ad sets had purchases and which ones didn't. And from there, you can further evaluate a lot more precisely in terms of which ad sets were more profitable over the other as well. If you want to learn more, check out Trey's video going over UTMs that will pop up somewhere here on this screen. I went ahead and jumped right into the cold audience testing with the creative that same night. Let's take a look at the analytics of day one. So as you guys can see here, this is your pretty standard cold audience campaign. Inside of it, you have your 10 audiences in here, all different interests. Don't mind the words in the parentheses. As the campaign continued to run with the UTM tracking, I was able to keep track of the overall amount of purchases that it ended up receiving. As you guys can see here though, on day one, it spent about $100.79 to produce 2 purchases for me, and that resulted in about $120 in revenue on its first day. So you guys just saw the Facebook analytics of day one, but on Shopify side of things, it actually said that I got 6 purchases instead of 2 that were tracked on Facebook. This is why it's super important to utilize UTMs to have more precise and accurate tracking. Using my KPIs, which stand for Key Performing Indicators, I was able to dictate where my ad spend was actually going based off of my break-even points. This allowed me to effectively push more money into areas that was driving the most highest quality and cheapest traffic overall. Now, on the third night, I took the ad set that had the most purchases and did a process called horizontally scaling. What I did was I took the ad set with the most purchases on that third night, and I duplicated it into the same campaign 10 times, and all I did was essentially change the interest of all 10 of those new duplicated ad sets to something that I have not yet tested before. The product so far within the first 3 days did pretty well with sales, and the metrics were looking favorable. As you guys can see from my first 3 days of testing, I was able to produce $703 in sales. Facebook only captured about $320 of that, which is why I'm saying it's super important to have your UTM set up. Again, make sure to check out Trey's video over setting up UTMs. Once I was able to get an ad set with at least 3 purchases plus and a high ROAS of about a 2.6 or more, I scaled that into its own ABO campaign. Inside this campaign, it was 10 ad sets, all at $10 each. I repeated that same process with other audiences that simply started to perform well for me as long as I was profitable for the day. Next came running custom audiences. If you don't know what a custom audience is, this is definitely time to make sure you have your pen and paper out. A custom audience is built from a customer list type of audience that you can create. This is made up of your existing customers that took that action you want to create an audience for. For example, if I took all the people who added to cart on my store and made an audience for it, Facebook would basically go find similar like people who are related to those who initially took that add to cart action onto your store. Essentially, this is just more data on steroids. From these custom audiences come lookalikes. Lookalikes are the percentages that stem from your custom audiences. They can range from 1% all the way up to 10%. These percentages are a combined population of your selected locations, with 1% being the most similar and narrowed down audience. The bigger the percentage gets, the broader the audience gets. I won't go too in depth about this, but the first custom audience I ended up testing was my 95%/75% video views. As you guys can see, this is my lookalike campaign that I ended up running. You guys can see that I had this 1% right here, going all the way up to that 10%. From here, you do the same exact process in scaling the lookalike from the custom audience campaign that you would with an interest in a cold audience campaign. It's really all about rinsing and repeating. The more data you collect, the more you're able to scale off of. The more you diversify your portfolio in terms of scaling strategies, the more you can fully utilize the data that you are collecting and spending money on. I then implemented my retargeting campaigns to touch back with customers who did not fully take that initiative to purchase all the way through. Now keep in mind everyone, these customers are definitely easier to convert because they know about your brand over somebody who is a cold lead that doesn't know anything about your brand. When I get into retargeting, I typically like to use a multitude of advertisements. This will allow me to hit different angles depending on my audience base. I might try carousels with mock images I get made, or even customer testimony review images. In these ads, you really want to try to create a funnel to reel back your customer who you already spent money on. It just comes down to offering them a discount that they cannot refuse. There you have it guys, this is how I was able to make $5K in just 33 days. Before we get going, let's go ahead and announce the winner of the free consultation call. And the winner from last week's video is Chris Ortiz Lopez. Congrats on winning your free consulting call where we can cover anything like product research, running your ads, or even optimizing your product page. I hope you guys take action today with the advice I gave. Supreme Ecom wishes you nothing but success. This is Young Cal and I'm out.
They gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it right back. Stack that internet money to the site crash.